Welcome back to Seekers, everybody. Let's roll some initiative. You guys, Sambar, you are down underneath the tree line with this terrifying creature up front and center. The rest of you are up on this bridge seeing it happen. Let's go ahead and get everybody in this combat. I'm sure you're not holding out.
My buddy is ready.
Alrighty, so we've got 15 for Sambar, 17 for Janlar.
We all rolled well.
16 for Goric.
Good job, team.
Rose with 17. Tom is not here, buddy. Okay, awesome. So let's roll for these wretched creatures.
A shot not on the being eaten by them.
They have... Oh, they do have a positive dex. That's awesome. So the wretched go at 18. And I don't even think I need to roll for the worms, but I will. I'm not sure what they do.
By the way, Greg, Faye will go before me. She's a higher dex.
Beautiful. Alrighty, so that means that Rose, you are the first to react as you see Sambar come up to this lady as she splits into two open-mouthed pieces with like maggot-like worms falling on the ground, chittering their wild, screeching, piercing chitters. What do you do?
Well, can I let myself down on a little bit of silk to drop down on the ground?
Okay. I think if you're going
is it?
to use your silk to like lower yourself down, that's not a part of the monster manual's like movement, is it?
No, I mean the thing is, a spider does have like web sense and things, so I figure there is some way to make a web. But it is not explained in the
Okay, so I'm gonna say that it would take
manual.
It would take your action to interact with the bridge to like make a silk rope to let yourself down. So if you take your action, you can like let yourself down on your silk rope. Otherwise, I think you need to like jump.
Because
off.
how far is it? If I jumped, I had to make a
15 feet.
save or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the safe. I'll climb down. Can I still land next to Sandbar?
Actually, you're a spider. You can climb on like trees and shit, right?
Yeah.
You've got a climbing speed.
I don't. I can climb very difficult, so that I can climb upside down and everything.
You don't need to lower yourself down with silk. You crawl down the side of a tree, right? Like
Okay,
you have
that works.
a climb speed as a spider. You climb down the side of a tree 15 feet, and get down onto the ground.
Right. And then is one in range of me? Could I attack one feasibly?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the two kind of blue women creatures in the background that have yet to really act, and then there's the two halves of the one that has split in half with their gaping maws and rows of teeth, and then there's these three like oversized maggots chittering on the ground. What do you strike?
I'll go for one of the maggots. I guess the first one I can reach.
Okay, absolutely.
Oh god, critical miss.
You scamper up as a spider, get your big pointy teeth out, and just
It's the first time I'm in spider form, and for some reason biting as a spider works a lot differently from biting as a wolf, so I'm slightly confused. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, awesome. Well then, that is your turn. Janlar, you see Rose run up and try to bite at one of these chittering, oversized maggots. You're up on the Rainbow Bridge. What are you doing?
How far am I distance-wise from the gaping maw thing?
You're about 15 feet high. You're probably 10 or 15 feet away from where Sambar was met by the lady.
Okay, so definitely within 60-foot range. Then I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost. Oops, sorry, Ray of Frost.
Okay. You shoot out a ray of cold blue energy, striking one of the two wretched pieces that have torn themselves apart.
Yeah.
All right, roll some damage for me. For 4 points of damage. Alrighty. Is there a second half to Ray of Frost? Do they get chilled or do they have a status?
Yeah, they move 10 feet slower.
They move 10 feet slower. Okay. All right. Well, that actually reduces their movement speed quite a bit. Excellent. They take 4 points of damage. The cold freezing them and like clearly leaving a patch on their otherwise kind of crystalline bodies that like it freezes and stops shifting and moving with them, leaving a very clear and obvious wound on their side. Anything else you're doing with your turn?
No, I can't really move down.
All right. That brings us to the wretches. The two halves of this former woman that have torn themselves apart leap at Sambar with their gaping maws and rows of teeth, attempting to latch themselves onto you. They roll at +3 to hit.
And also have disadvantage.
And they do have disadvantage. So the first one misses you with a 4. Just like lunges forward in an awkward way, just snapping its two halves together, its rows of teeth hitting the air in front of you. The second strikes with a 12, which you easily turn aside, just force it away from you as it snatches its jaws together. You are standing within 5 feet of one of these oversized maggots. But it's not their turn, so they don't get to go. They continue chittering away. The other two ladies behind you, you see them continue to move forward, and as they do so, crack and split, their bodies breaking apart, oversized maggots crawling and spilling out on the ground. They resume chittering as well, as these other two blue figures tear themselves in half, each half of them with a gaping maw and rows of teeth inside of them. Two of them are going to rush forward towards Rose. You're still wearing your earmuffs as part of your
yeah, I figured how we could do it is I wear the muffs. If I wear the muffs in turn, I wear them. If I don't wear them in turn, I don't wear them, right? I think that's fair.
Yep. That's how I was handling it. So the first half of one of these clamps down and sinks its rows of teeth into your side. And it does a negligible amount of damage. Well, no, actually, not that bad.
Can you stop rolling like 15 and higher? I feel like that's BS.
It does 4 points of damage to you as it sinks its teeth into you. But this half of a body is now latched onto you and won't let go. Like the teeth feel locked into place. And as you move your spider body around, it just holds and hangs onto you. The second one attempts to do the same thing. Also striking you.
Oh my god.
For 7 more points of damage. And these two like halves of this once woman are now mandibled onto you, their fangs sinking in and not letting go. The other two are going to come up and attack Sambar since they are in that area. With a 7 for the first and an 8 for the second. Sambar just continues to bash them out of his way, not letting their teeth get close.
Wax on.
Yeah. As the creatures are unable to latch their fangs into you, which brings us to Goric.
Okay. Goric is going to, as his action, his eyes are going to roll black and sunken again. I'm going to use my Eyes of the Grave ability to see if these things are undead.
These things are not undead.
Okay. That's my action. As my bonus action, there's still, all 3 of them are still alive, right?
That is correct. None of them have died.
Okay. And we haven't rested since our fight with the statue warden guard thing, right? No. So I've only got 1 second level spell slot left. I'm just going to... I don't think I have any other than Spiritual Weapon, I don't think I have any bonus action spells. So I'm going to keep concentrating on protection from good and evil because it seems like that might be doing something for Sambar. And I'll just have to wait for my next turn to cast a different action spell.
Okay, all right. You stay on the Bridge of Light. You look at them. You don't see any undead auras. And that...
I will tell the party they aren't undead, whatever they are.
All right. You shout at the party. They aren't undead. Which brings us to Sambar. Finally, you get to react. You've been beating back these biting attacks at you. You see that Rose has had them latch on and not let go for her spider body. What do you do?
I'm gonna take a swing at the one that is attached to Rose because get off my druid buddy.
Okay. She's close by. You're kind of like semi-surrounded, but she came up to attack one of the things next to you.
Yeah,
so you take a slice at one of the creatures there.
Okay. Alright, attack. 15?
A 15 hits. Please do damage.
6 slashing damage.
6 slashing damage. All right, you strike 6 damage into this creature. You see strange plasmid bits fall off of it and drip into the ground, black and deep dark blue. And in the gash, you see like thousands of teeming worms laced together, trying to bind back the slash of your axe.
Gross.
What else do you do with your turn?
I can't move because they surrounded me, so I think that's my turn. But you just see like the little bit in his eye, the little bit of unhappy, like you killed my joy making these worms. Like he's just like, what a letdown.
Alrighty. Excellent. That brings us to the grubs. There are a ton of them just scattered on the ground. They are unmoving and oversized like maggots, all of them chittering and clawing and scratching. They seem to be like the young almost, as if they're unformed. The ones that are close enough to attack will, but the other ones seem unable to move. So the 3 on the ground that are next to people are next to Sambar and Rose the Spider. They are going to like lunge their bodies forward and attempt to bite down on 2 on Sambar since he is currently unattached. For a 14 to hit you? Does not hit, I assume. Okay.
No dice.
Sorry. Okay, so does the 13 hit you? No, the other one's a 4.
No dice.
So the 4 misses, the 14 hits. As it strikes into you, it deals a little bit of damage. But what
Neither. I'm 15 AC.
Neither hit. Okay. All right. So never mind. Your armor protects from the bite of the creature. The last one attempts to bite Rose the spider and misses terribly.
Okay.
So the maggots are just ineffective on the ground. The other 3 that spilled out of each of the other bodies happened outside of the reach of any of you and just continue their chittering noise making on the ground. Which brings us back around to Rose.
Right.
You have these things like latched onto you. What do you do?
One of them is hurt, right?
Yes.
Because I'm hurt. One of them. I will try to bite that one, I guess. Again.
Okay.
20?
20. Yes.
Okay, and then how do those spiders? What is 1? 5, and it has to make a con saving throw.
A con saving throw. Okay.
Yes.
So this is one of the wretched here. They don't have very good con. An 11.
Oh, that's exactly a make, I think. Yep.
Okay.
God damn it.
But they do take 5.
I still do half damage. Ooh, okay. That's good. That's good. Okay, I still get to poison them, but I only take half damage off this, so 2.
Okay, so they take 7 total points of damage from you. That does... did you do the one that was slashed or frostbolted?
The one that Sandbar attacked, I guess.
Okay, excellent. You like bite into this thing, and you feel against your spidery like fangs these worming, wiggling, like teeming mass of maggots and worms, and your poison just spills all over them, poisoning them and dealing a good amount of damage. Unfortunately, not unlatching this thing from your body. Janlar, you see the carnage in front of you. What are you doing?
Rose is still in spider form, correct?
Yes.
Alright.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Firebolt on the one that she attacked, as well as...
Okay. Please roll to hit.
You think it's better when I'm a spider because I'm not it's like, she's a spider, and maybe she doesn't mind too much.
I mean, at least you're not gonna burn this way. Like...
Man, I have very hairy legs as a spider, just saying.
Well, you have to tell me that once you...
Spider has not shaved
once you
in
survive.
months.
All right.
Oh no!
You successfully strike this creature with your firebolt. Please roll for damage. 5 points of damage. You strike it with fire, and you see that this creature, as it's latched onto Rose, just erupts and explodes outward in a spray of these wriggling creatures, and they slowly like smolder in the fireball, and it lies dead, like just lying dead, a big empty husk with its innards now just spread out across the ground, smoldering in front of you. That brings us to the turn of all these creatures. The one that is attached to Rose, it automatically deals damage now that it's attached to you. You feel its rows of teeth just kind of turn and just ripping into your spidery body. You take an additional 7 points of damage from this thing.
I revert back into my brigand form.
Okay. You see this giant spider reduce back into the form of Rose with this creature attached to her. The other two that... Oh no, there's another 4. One more is going to go try to take the place of the one that attached to Rose previously. With a 22.
My God.
And does 8 more points of damage when it attaches.
Oh, jeez.
The other 3 are going to take their chances at Sambar since he's down here. An 8 missing. A 20 hits Sambar, I'm pretty sure. That'll hit. Alright, so this one attaches itself to you and deals 7 damage as it latches on. And the final one will attempt to get in there as well. But it is incapable of doing so. Goric, you see Rose revert back to her human form. You see this other creature latch on. Your companions have these rows of teeth gnawing into them. What do you do?
There's still one attached to Rose, right?
There are now 2.
There's 2 attached to Rose?
Yes, one exploded and then another one leapt back to take its place.
Was the one that leapt back the one that was already attacked, or is that a different one?
Rose has one that you hit a frostbolt with, already latched onto her, and then a fresh one.
I will target the one that got frostbolted with a Toll the Dead.
Ooh, okay.
So Goric will sort of pull out his holy symbol, which is it's probably just like a black leather-bound book with like a skull, like a stylized skull, not like a weird like dead one, but like a carefully entombed. Actually, it's probably more like a sarcophagus than just a skull. Mm-hmm. And start incanting out of that, and this like sort of resonant hum will start carrying through, and then all the little crystalline things in the forest will start sounding like wind chimes, and then it just turns into this dirty bass drop that just hits this thing, and it needs to make a wind chime. Wow. Yeah, because all the reverb from the wind chimes is ting 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 ting.
All right, you Skrillex this thing. What save did you say?
It's a wisdom save for Toll the Dead. I think
these things just are negative everything, aren't they?
Could be Constitution. I will confirm.
Wisdom say. Oh, it's a 5 on the die, so it's a 3 or a 4 total. Either way, it fails.
Fail either way.
Yep.
It is a wisdom save. So it takes 1d12 necrotic damage.
Does it resist?
Because it's already taken damage.
No, it does not resist. It takes 9 points of damage. You see this like shimmering body that it has a coating its outside reverberate and start breaking apart and splitting open, and you see these like wriggling masses inside attempt to like knit themselves back together. But it still manages to stay holding on.
All right.
What else do you do with your turn?
I am staying on this ledge. I'll tell you that right now.
Staying on Rainbow Road.
Yeah, I used my Channel Divinity during the fight against the Warden. I could bonus action Healing Word somebody, but I don't have a ton of spell slots, and nobody's looking super badly injured yet, right?
You did see
I'm good
that
at
Rose
that.
took most of her damage as a spider.
I know Rose took a bunch of damage as a spider, but that spider damage doesn't carry over to spring.
I'm at minus 14 right now in my normal form. Like 2/3 down.
Yeah. All right, I'll use a Healing Word on Rose. It's more effective if you're at 0, but it does mean you have to drop to 0, which in Greg's games is very dangerous to do.
Let me tell you, last time I wanted to wait for somebody to drop to 0, they dropped to dead.
That is true.
I mean, I think
So I'll cast a Healing Word on Rose, and she can take hit points back.
You intone the healing words of Beyond the Grave, and this life force surges through Rose, reinvigorating her. Which brings us to Sambar. You have one of these creatures now, like, latched onto the side of you, and 2 more kind of encircling you. What do you do?
I'm like, oh, just chop at the one that's like attached to me.
Okay, all right. You're just gonna chop it.
Yeah.
Make your attack. You have advantage.
Okay, I'll
That'll
roll
hit.
again. Hold up. Roll again to make sure it's not a crit. Is it gonna roll again for me, please? There we go. Yep, 24 is a hit.
Same. 10
slashing.
points of slashing damage. Your axe cleaves through, making a nice trail of grubs and worms and wriggling others falling out, and they kind of knit themselves back up, trying to cover the hole as they are clearly very injured. Anything else you do with your turn?
No.
All right. Which brings us to the grubs. There's still grubs around 2 of you. So they're going to try to do their thing. That's a 13 against Sambar. This protection from evil really paying off. A 10.
It really is.
And, a 17!
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, that finally hit you. So, they're going to do D4 damage. 3 points of damage to you. But what I want you to do is make a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
All attack rolls against you have advantage until the start of this thing's next turn. That'll cancel out the disadvantage, I guess, for the other halves of these. That brings us back around to Rose, though. You've reverted back from your spider form. You have 2 of these things latched onto you. What do you do?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna grab my quarterstaff
Okay.
for now, and I will slam it onto the ground, and a little crystalline vine wraps around it as I cast Shillelagh, which is something we haven't seen in a while. And yeah, I think was Shillelagh bonus? Oh god, I haven't done that.
Is a bonus.
Is that an action? Yeah, and then I'm gonna try to attack that.
All right.
The one is wounded, right? So I'll try.
Yes.
Try to go for that one. It's a pain in the ass to play because you have so many windows open and so much stuff to look at. Really, I don't know what I thought. There we go. There we go.
An 18, you strike this creature that has been opened up by Tom's voice from beyond for 13 points of damage. Once again, you
I'm mad.
Strike down on this creature with your quarterstaff, ripping into its body, it breaking apart, once again showering the ground in this mass of wriggling worms, just hundreds of thousands of them spilling onto the ground. You feel the teeth that were lodged into you soften and fall out onto the ground as well as this creature lies dead at your feet. Anything else you're doing with your turn?
That's all. That's all for now.
All right. Which brings us to Janlar. What are you going to do, Janlar?
There's still one attached to Rose, correct?
There is. There's one on Rose and one on Millman, or on Sandbar.
Okay. I'm going to continue to attack the one on Rose. The new one.
Okay.
New one on Rose.
You doing so with your firebolt?
No, I'm going to do it with Ray of Frost this time.
Okay, an 8 does not hit, sadly, as they have AC 11. So you strike that body with your Ray of Frost, and you have that similar kind of dispersing effect that you saw from the statues as your magic falls short of the mark. Anything else with your turn? All right, that brings us to the wretched. 2 of them are already attached to the 2 of you. So, Rose, you are going to take an additional 2 points of damage as this one attached to you just rotates its maws, digging its teeth further into you. Sambar, you take an additional 10 points of damage as the same thing happens, as this creature just finds vital organs with its rows of teeth, just ramming them deeper into you. The final 2 creatures here split apart, one making a leap over to Rose, and the other going to attack Sambar again, this time with a normal roll as it is canceling out its disadvantage. With a 13, still not going to strike Sambar, and a crit on Rose.
No!
This is a...
20! Oh, please no 20. Oh god.
For 4 points of damage as it latches onto you and begins its grinding of teeth into you.
I just found out if Tom is not around, I'm the tank in the party. It's not good.
Sambar should be
not good.
I am. I'm half health from last fight.
Alrighty. That brings us back around to Gorik. Gorik, you see the remnants of these creatures latching onto your party members. What do you do?
All right, so there's 2 on Sambar and 1 on Rose.
There are 2 on Rose and 1 on Sambar.
I just want to make a note. Sandbar is looking very worse for wear. The last attack he let out an awful weakened bleat.
Okay. I don't have any big healing spells except for one that takes 10 minutes to cast, and I don't feel like it's really time to whip that out.
I don't have 10 minutes.
No. I will... I don't know that there's much I can do except keep working on... I had my spells picked to complement the other cleric in the group. And now we don't have a second cleric in the group, unexpectedly. So there's some gaps in my clericing ability at the moment. So I'm just going to Toll the Dead the one that I hit last time that's working on Rose and
the one that you hit last time is dead, but there is the one that was struck by Sambar that is slashed for 10 points of damage.
Okay, is that the one on Sambar?
Yes.
Okay, I'll target that one then. With so the echo from my Skrillex,
yes,
just sort of fades into the distance and then reverberates back again for the second round.
The bass drops, it comes back out, and then it just comes back in. Yeah. It's a scary monster! It fails again to pass its wisdom save.
12. Where's my D12? There it is. That's only 3 necrotic.
Takes
for that one,
3 necrotic damage, coming very close to killing it, but not quite. As wounds are ripped anew in it, worms come flying out and knit back together, barely keeping this mod creature together.
But Sambar looks pretty rough, right?
That's what he says.
And so does Rose's starting to look pretty rough.
She's better. She's better now. She wasn't hurt too badly.
The damage she took last turn.
Rose has got 2 on her, and Sambar's got 1 on him, and then there's one that's not attached yet, right?
Correct.
Didn't I kill one of them that was on me?
And then the other one came and crit you.
Oh, right, and then it attached. Okay, I missed that one. Never mind. I thought that was the one that was already attached.
First time they attached themselves to you.
Bring them all, Greg. Bring them all. That's okay.
I'll go ahead. I'll use my last 2nd level slot to cast Spiritual Weapon.
That is a bonus action, right?
Yeah, Spiritual Weapon's a bonus action, and I used a cantrip for my main action.
Okay,
so
perfect.
Fine.
Yep.
So I will cast Spiritual Weapon over near Sambar, and it will make an attack roll against the one that is fighting him. So our
11 AC is your
20 plus 4 for Wisdom and 2 for proficiency, so plus 6. 25.
You strike it. Any amount of damage will kill this thing. So your spiritual scythe just whips through this creature, taking it in half. It falls apart. The worms inside of it all seem to be sliced in half by the scythe as well as they fall to the ground, twitching. The teeth unlatch themselves from your side and fall out onto the ground. This creature has been destroyed. Which brings us to Sambar. You are now once again free of teeth inside of you. There's one kind of dancing around here, and the 2 on Rose, as well with the oversized maggots. What will you do?
I'm like clenching that fucking bite wound as I take a swing at one that's bit onto Rose.
Okay. Go ahead and swing your axe.
I swing my axe for a 24.
And that definitely hits. For 10 points of slashing damage, your axe cleaves a line through the creature. Worms go flying out. They knit back together, attempting to keep themselves whole. This brings us to the Gru at the end of the turn. These little grubs. They are still on the ground near you, Sambar, and it is the beginning of their turn, so the confounding effect wears off. So they're at disadvantage to keep trying to bite at you. A 10 misses. A 14 misses.
Yep, it misses.
Okay.
15
is the magic number. But the 18 will hit you. So, they're going to do another D4 damage, but I need you to make that DC 10 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, come on, game. I really don't have the hit
points.
You
got it.
You take 1 point of damage from the bite of the oversized maggot.
That's good. That's good. And Wisdom...
my lord.
Once again, you find yourself confounded and at disadvantage, but the protection from good and evil will help negate some of that. Which brings us back around to the top of the turn. Rose, you have these 2 things attached to you. One of them has been slashed a little bit. What do you do?
Oh my god. So, just to get it right, I have 2 attached to me. There's 1 on Sandbar, and there are 2 more?
Well, there's one that's disengaged. Like, it hasn't latched onto anybody at the moment. It's just ambling around with its open maw. There are the 2 that are attached to you, and then there's just a field of these 9, like, oversized maggots that can't seem to move on their own, but are continuing this chittering throughout the air.
Right. And these are those maggots the same creatures that attach to people?
No.
Oh, they are different.
They were like part of them, and they crawled out from between these creatures. But they seem unwhole, as if they're only like half-sized or like child.
Okay, I'm gonna take another swing at one of mine. Preferably, is one hurt of them?
Yes.
If so, one of these.
You have advantage since it's attached to you. It's effectively held.
Oh my god.
A 21. That
7
hits for 7 damage, which is enough. Your shillelagh once again rakes through this creature. It falls apart, disintegrates into this spray of wriggling bugs and maggots as they fall to the ground. The teeth latched into your side fall out and free you from the clutch of this creature. Anything else you can do with your turn here?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of my shillelagh. Like I'm going to put my quarterstaff on my back as a free action, right? So the shillelagh
just probably
for a
more
second.
drop it than anything.
Or I would drop it. I mean, it doesn't seem like they would pick it up, So I let go of it so I can cast a spell on Sandbar. So I'm going to use my bonus action to healing word him.
Oh, excellent. With one of these wretched things latched into your side, you bravely cast your spell.
Yeah, okay, good. I was about to say, are you going to tell me I can't or something terrible happens? I was ready for something terrible. I was like, oh, excellent, it kills you. I'm like, what? No, please no.
I just think it's a very, very heroic thing to do to heal another person while, like, under threat of more teeth. Sandbar, you feel the natural glow of Rose's magic as her vine reaches through the ground and touches you at the command of her voice, and you are filled with more energy. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
That brings us to these creatures' turns, and this very creature that was latched onto you continues to rotate and dig its teeth into you, Rose. You will take an additional D10 plus 1.
Please no. Oh god.
Come on,
9 points of damage as this thing digs deeper into your flesh. The final one goes into attack Sambar as you are the one unattached at the moment. And it crits you as it digs its teeth deep into your fleshy body.
Does that one have disadvantage on its roll or no?
It does have disadvantage, but it is also granted advantage by the confounding bite of the maggot.
Oh, that's right, because he failed it. That's right. I forgot he failed his last
So it is just a normal attack for him. You take 13 points of damage from this thing as it latches into you, its rows of teeth, digging deep into your side. And it is the end of those. There's only 2 left.
That's my blade.
So that brings us to Goric. You see the final creature latch itself onto Sambar, a bleat of pain ringing forth. What do you do?
So there's once again there's 1 on Sambar and 2 on Rose.
Nope, there's 1 on 1.
Okay, all right. Sambar's looking way worse than Rose right now, right?
Really?
It seems
that
so.
1 hit point says so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Sambar's.
Where's your +5 or +4 con now?
Rose, aren't you less than
I started the fight at 24.
I'm less than half as well, yeah. We're both pretty bad.
Yeah. I will spiritual weapon the one on Sambar.
All right, your scythe comes reaping through for 15, which hits.
Okay, and it's gonna take 1d8 plus 4. Takes 12.
12. Ooh, almost enough to slay it, but not quite. It's ripped open and bugs come flying out.
Round 3, reverb coming through.
Okay. You Skrillex yet again. The base drops, and it will attempt to save against this at -2. That's a 16!
Oh, shit.
This one is a metalhead. It is okay with a base drop. Your toll of the dead ripples through the forest, striking this, and you see its body wriggle, but it does not get pulled apart as it had in the past.
It's actually just wriggling in a dance.
It's like, woo!
It starts headbanging, which actually makes it worse because it's just tearing more junk.
We won't make him roll any extra damage though.
Yeah.
That's probably why it crit. Actually, that's the reason behind the crit.
Yeah.
All right. Which brings us to Sambar himself. Sambar, this thing is latched onto you. It is being reeked, it is being ravaged. There we go. That's a better word. By the powers of the darkness, but still
Get off
clings to
me!
you.
And fucking cut it. 17.
Nice. That hits. 5
slash,
is
5
enough
slashing.
to kill it as your axe cleaves through the body of this thing. It erupts and sprays out its maggots, and the teeth fall from you.
Dramatically
Millman, I hate
lean.
to do this to you, but I'm going to.
Oh god.
Doesn't he take damage at the start of his turn?
At the start of the creature's turn.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, don't you dare do that to me.
I hate to do this, but
It's like an automatic hit thing. So basically, at the start of its turn, it could just
If it's
deal
attached,
damage.
it just automatically deals damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is Sambar. You're free of this creature. What are you gonna do?
I can't do anything else. I've already attacked.
Okay.
You already
Excellent.
second winded last fight too, right?
can Jandlar yell
yeah.
to move away from the things on the ground?
I can't because they get an attack of opportunity. If I move away.
Jandlar, it's your turn. No, it's not. Rose, it's your turn.
Yeah. So Rose is really badly wounded, and she's not prepared to take any risk because she has seen how quickly the tide of battle can turn when you think, oh, just one more hit, just one more, just one more time. And when she thinks back to Villith and seeing her lying on the ground, right, and she slumps down to the ground for a second, and you just see this giant maggot right on top of her. And 1 second later, you hear this loud roar, and she just transforms into a huge black bear that's going to chow down on the last maggot that's still on her.
All right, Rose shifts into a massive black bear and bites at it. You have advantage on this thing that's latched into you as you are held by it. Oh, Sambar, you've had advantage too. It's dead. You're good.
It doesn't matter.
It's dead. So, first attack.
20
Oh,
hits.
that's weirdly. That's weirdly.
That's
what did
not
I do? I
a-
didn't
that's a
drop one. It's
17.
17. I
It's a
didn't drop
17.
one. Sorry.
It still hits.
Didn't roll for 2 weeks. I'm out of practice.
Out of practice. It's okay. We forget.
That's gonna be 1d. For 7 damage.
Yes.
Is it still up?
It is still up.
Okay, then I'm gonna go and slash at it because I have multi-attack as a bear.
All right.
2d20, drop lowest 1 plus 3, 21.
Also
Also
hits.
a hit for 7 damage.
7 more. Oh, so close to killing this thing.
Oh, man.
You bite into it, ripping out a piece of its flesh, claw into it. Worms and grubs and maggots fly everywhere, but it still holds on. They try to knit themselves back together again. And Jandlar, the turn comes to you.
I just rolled my HP just
Okay, perfect.
in case.
You said that if I jump off this rainbow bridge thing, I would have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll like an acrobatics check not to take falling damage, because you're 15 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Can he try and climb down a tree the way that Rose did?
Yes, but he does not have a climbing speed as a human, so he would have to take an action to like climb.
Nah.
Would I be able to theoretically put myself between Millman and the grubs on the ground in front of him?
I suppose, yeah, you could be able to do that. You could just like rush down and thrust yourself in between him.
Yeah, even if I have to like just stand on top of them so they just see me first.
Yeah.
Oh, one short thing before I forget, because sometimes I forget it. This is the first Druid of the Land I've played. I can't bite because Shapeshift is an action. So revert all the damage. I just did not attack.
I'm so
did not
used-
happen.
I'm
Did
so
not
used
It's
to
so
the circle
confusing
of
because
the moon.
everybody plays
yeah,
moon
yeah,
all
yeah.
the time,
Okay.
and you're like, no, I can't. I can't. Sorry.
Well, you transformed into a bear and got some extra HP. But
Yes, that's what I
unfortunately,
did.
all the biting and clawing was in everyone's mind. We all thought
Exactly.
this was going to happen, and then sadly, the bear just took some time to
Sorry,
form.
my bad.
That's okay. I didn't think anything of it. I'm used to so many moon druids.
I didn't think about it either.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do with my turn. Then I'm gonna attempt to.
All right. Make me an acrobatics check to tumble without taking falling damage here.
1 second. +2.
You successfully tumble down, land in your superhero pose, and you rush forward, shoving Sambar out of the way, and like getting a nice "bring it on" pose in front of the grubs. Yeah, you get to solo some maggots. All right, Janlar. That brings us to the turn of this last wretched, attached now to a giant black bear. Please take 9 points of damage as this wretched thing just rips into the bear's flesh with its rows of teeth. And that brings us to Goric up on the Rainbow Bridge.
All right. I'll move a spiritual weapon over and attack with that.
Okay, the spiritual scythe slides forward, takes a nice wing at this thing. 21 hits.
That should hit. It takes 6 points of damage.
All right.
And I'm going to I'll let Toll the Dead fade.
All right, so the Skrillex fades off into the forest somewhere.
Yeah, and then I need it to try and make a dexterity save as I'm going to Sacred Flame it.
Okay.
Which
It
I
fails.
imagine be
It's
difficult while it's
attached.
attached
Yeah,
to a bear.
it fails dex saves when attached. It is
Alright,
effectively
so it
held.
just takes 1d8 radiant damage. Takes
For
6 points of
more.
radiant damage.
Okay. Your light of the grave just erupts around it in this kind of like pale moonlight almost look, ripping into the creature, opening up wounds with bugs flying out. It's still alive.
All right.
Excellent. Sambar, you've been shoved out of the way of these grubs by a very heroic Janlar. What are you doing next?
If that's the case, I pull my bow and fire at the maggot that is attached to my druid friend.
Okay, you're gonna attack the wretched. You take a step back, pull your bow. Roll the hit for me.
17
hits. For 7 points of damage, your arrow pierces through the creature, causing it to erupt in a shower of maggots and worms and other creepy crawlies. The teeth fall out of the large bear, and it falls dead. Which brings us to these grubs, which can't move on their own, and are going to try to attack Janlar now that he's right next to them.
When the first one attacks, I'm going to cast Shield, so my AC will be 17.
Okay. That one crits you. So we'll just roll all of their attacks. 14 and 15. So I think the first one is the only one that hits you with your mage armor.
No, sorry, I said I cast Shield.
Oh, okay.
So
do they all hit you?
No. So that'll bring me up to an AC of 17, so none of them will hit me.
Well, the crit hits you.
Oh, the crit one, sorry, the crit one. I didn't see the crit, yes. The crit one.
Okay.
The other two miss.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you take 7 points of damage from the bite of the maggot. Also make a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, all of that is taken by my Arcane Ward, by the way.
Okay, nice. Your magical ward shields you from some of the damage of the bite, but you still need to make the saving throw.
You said the DC Wisdom, you said?
Yes, DC 10 Wisdom saving throw. All right, you are confounded, and all attacks have advantage on you until the start of this thing's next round. Nice.
3, but yeah.
Rose, you are free of
Okay.
this creature and a bear.
That is true. I would like to attack the smaller maggots, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, these things cannot move on their own, and have AC like 8. So I think is it fair to say that you guys just clean these up?
Yeah, probably.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I won't say no to that.
At the very least, you can all back up and wait for Sambar to slowly kill them with arrows.
Well, yeah, I can Sacred Flame them and,
and
Toll the Dead them.
firebolt and all of that stuff.
And sling them.
I would disengage the first turn I wasn't.
Yeah. So you all kind of back up. Janlar disengages from the grubs. Goric and Sambar and Janlar sit in a line and just slowly destroy and eradicate these oversized grubs until once again the forest around you falls eerily silent. And you are standing in front of this kind of almost lake-like body of water.
the bridge 15 feet above them, Gorik will be like, "You want I should come down, or you want to come back up here?"
1 minute, and I just walk over and I just want to poke the water and see what happens.
Why?
It ripples.
It's
Your
not
finger
poisonous.
comes out. Your finger comes out dry. It's not wet. But
Come
as
down
you-
here, I need to take a break. And you just see I'm bleeding out of everywhere. And, like, I'm holding in my organs. Like, I'm having a bad day.
You want to take rest next to lake with maggot death?
Yes. Because I know if these things were here, nothing else will be around. And we've already killed these guys. Unless botfly comes, and then we're in a whole world of shit.
I mean, it's just like a 10-minute break, isn't it? Like half an hour, 10 minutes, something
Yeah,
like
do you
that?
want to take a 10-minute break for a short rest, or do you want to, like,
we want
hunker
to take a short
down?
rest for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely need a short
So
rest.
you take 10 minutes. You pull out your rations, you eat them, some bandages come out, wrap up your companions. Feel free to spend any hit dice that you need to spend. Make sure to keep track of them as...
Full health again.
Wow! Wow! A cool 40 HP there from Sambar.
1 second.
I was 50 shades of fucked up.
As you guys are tending to your wounds, taking a nice little break and resting, you will see that on the, like, at the foot of the trees around this lake, and only around this lake, you see kind of these leafy growths that come out next to the base of the trees, and inside of this kind of like cocoon almost of leaves, there's these large orange globes that look like fruit, basically. These just oversized, as big as your head, basically, globes of fruit inside of them. Sambar, you had like touched the lake, and you saw it ripple. Your finger comes out dry, even though this like kind of substance gloops off.
Does it take the dirt and blood off of my finger when I gloop it?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Um,
So it's just jelly.
Kind of, yeah, like a plasmid almost. And it ripples throughout it. You look down into the depths in the center, and you see glittering, shining baubles at the bottom. Looks like reds and greens and oranges, shaped like small stones sitting at the bottom of this.
How deep does it look?
This looks like it could be between 50 and 60 feet deep.
I look at it and I look at the party. There's things down there, but I don't want to go down there and get glooped. Is there a way we can get down there without me dying?
You said it's 60 feet.
Yeah,
I just
50,
look at
60
Rose,
feet,
I'm
something
like,
in there.
can you become a fish? Or
I go, moo.
I wasn't there. I don't.
Greg, you did
I'm
something.
still a bear, is what I'm saying when you're talking to me.
I'm sorry, Gorik, what was that?
I said you did something weird. The cameras on stream were like super zoomed in. Oh wait, never mind. You didn't. I've got chat on the wrong side and it's covering up half the cameras. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, my mage hand only goes 30 feet.
So what you're saying is you just gotta dive down 10 feet and then you can use a mage hand, right? That's what you're saying?
He needs to dive down 30 feet, I think.
Oh,
Well,
30
what we can
still-
do-
Ooh.
I can tie a rope around him, throw him in, and then pull him out. I am strong enough. We could do this. And I look at him and I'm like, he doesn't look that heavy.
I'm not.
Sambar. This liquid in the bowl or in the lake, does it look like the thicker liquid in the bowl?
No.
The syrupy one.
No, this is like jelly. And I show him, like, it's like, pull out the plasmid. I'm like, Yeah, no. No. But those fruits over there do. Should I pick them? I feel like it may trigger the trees to get angry, though.
I think you can get fruits.
We need fruits and we need a thick liquid.
That's what she said.
A thick liquid
Yeah.
might.
Jan would take an empty vial of this liquid as well.
Sure. Yeah, you can fill the vial with it. Easy done.
Are the fruits the same color as? Are they like amber colored or are they orange? You know,
They're like a deep orange. They're just like
Well,
if you've
let's pick
seen
some
those like
fruit
oversized
while
oranges
we deliberate.
from the tropics, like that's what I'm envisioning.
Mhm.
All right, well, I'll pick them. How many are in the area?
At the base of the trees here, there are 14 harvestable like orange fruits.
I'll
Each
pick
of them is like roughly the size of your head. Like these are overgrown
Oh,
and
Perfect.
gigantic.
Well, I'll put them in a sack because I have a sack on my character.
Oh, that's right. The sack you were gonna put horse dog
I
in.
have two. I have two sacks.
All right.
One is bigger and one is smaller.
Yeah, you take out the horse dog sack and begin filling it with your harvested fruit. As you do, as you pull them off, you get this like intense aroma, citrusy and like fruity.
Give me that vitamin C.
Yeah. Like the sap in the like coats the interior of the leaves themselves, leaves the exterior of this fruit, which would otherwise be rough, like kind of sticky and syrupy, in your hands.
Can I lick the syrup? What does it taste like? I'm like,
Okay, you lick the syrup. It is. Have you ever licked sap?
yes.
Okay.
It's bitter as shit.
It is, yeah, exactly. It is exactly like that type of thing. Like you lick it, and it's just like an intense bitter taste on your tongue. Just like, and it coats your tongue too. Like it's all sticky and it sits on there.
I've got like
Everything-
a long deer tongue as well. And it's like,
By the way, Janlar would be casting a ritual of detect magic.
It's like that scene in episode 1 where Jar Jar's tongue goes numb and Sambar's just walking around. Blah.
It doesn't
Everything
make him go
in-
numb, but it is this sticky coating of bitter.
it's not
everything
a banana
in
tree.
Everything in Greg's world is super beautiful from the outside. And the inside, there's just like maggots, and the tastes like sap and is super bitter. Like it's so disappointing. Everything's
What is-
beautiful, but inside, though.
Greg is a person. What?
I was gonna say, Greg, do we need to have a sit down? Do we need help?
Everything nice is rotten inside.
Wow.
Nothing pure in the world.
Wow, that's so deep and dark at the same time. Damn. All right. Chandler, I look at you. I'm holding up my rope with this big sack of oranges over my shoulder. Are you going in? Are you not going in? I mean, I'll give it a go. I don't know how long it'll take me to get to the bottom. And I don't think you guys can pull me out.
I can't wait for him to like try and dive in and just belly flop on top.
I
It's
know,
like-
right? And slowly sink in.
Yeah.
Janlar is just casting detect magic or casting.
All right. Well,
right.
well, it took me a while
So
to pick.
over the course of the short rest, you, Janlar, are first to get done with your eating and your whatever. And while they're resting and thinking about things, you begin your ritualistic detect magic. Eventually, your ritual finishes after 10 minutes. You open your eyes to the aura of this world. Nothing here strikes you as magical. There's no auras other than the items that you've already seen on your person and your compatriots that gives off a magical aura. But just everything here, just this entire world, just kind of has a vague, like, pale look to it. Like every single thing you look at, the sky, the water, the ground, the trees, just everything gives you a little bit of this like pale kind of feedback, although it doesn't have the magical auras that you're used to seeing on, like, say, magical items or spell effects.
All right. I looked Sandbar and say, "All right, tie me up."
That's
what I like to hear, and that is definitely what she said.
And that's probably where we should take our second break.
Well, now that you mention it, actually, this is a good time to take our second break. So why don't we do that? Why don't we cliffhanger us on Sambar tying up Janlar? And,
Yeah, it's only gonna take 5 minutes, you know.
Oh, well done.
Bow chicka wow wow.
All
I
right.
don't know.
We'll see the rest of
Sambar has
you
a
on
lot
the
of stamina.
other side of this.